The next area of music therapy practice is the healing area of music therapy practice. This area focuses on restoring harmony and wholeness within the individual and between the individual and her world, using various combinations of vibration, sound, music, and relationships. In the present perspective on music therapy, the wholeness and interconnectedness that comes with healing includes all harmonious relationships that can occur among and between body, mind, spirit, community, society, culture, and the environment. A basic assumption is that when any one of these relationships come into greater harmony, other relationships follow and align with one another, as all layers of the individual and ecology are integrally related to one another energetically and systematically. Examples of the healing area of music therapy practice include music therapy in healing, body music psychotherapy, guided imagery and music, creative music therapy, and analytically oriented music therapy. Music therapy in healing involves the use of all facets of music experiences and the relationships that develop through them to heal the individual in her ecology, to induce self-healing or to promote wellness. Here, a person is healed through music experiences, including all levels and components, with the ongoing guidance and support of the therapist, within the context of a client-therapist relationship. The therapist plays an integral role in the healing process. However, rather than participate in an active or directive way, the therapist provides a supportive presence to the client and the music. In music therapy in healing, the therapist's aim is to assist the client through his or her own natural healing process by providing continual support and guidance in benefiting from the music and offering their relationship with one another as a vehicle for healing whenever needed. Essentially, the therapist respects the integrity of the self-healing process and the powerful role of music and avoids imposing any foreign or non-essential into that process. Body music psychotherapy involves the combined use of body work, music experiences, and the client-therapist relationship to heal the individual. Guided imagery and music was developed by a woman called Helen Bonney. Bonney said that GIM is a process where imagery is evoked during music listening. It is a depth approach to music psychotherapy in which specifically programmed classical music is used to generate a dynamic unfolding of inner experiences. It is holistic, humanistic, and transpersonal, allowing for the emergence of all aspects of the human experience: psychological, emotional, physical, social, spiritual, and the collective unconscious. Guided imagery and music has been used in a number of clinical settings with many different client populations. Bruscia defines GIM as an intensive, transformative music psychotherapy because in GIM the music experience is therapeutically transformative and complete in, of, and by itself, independent of any insights gained through verbal exchange. Another example of the healing area of music therapy practice is creative music therapy. This was developed by Paul Nordorf and Clive Robbins. Most of the early development of creative music therapy was aimed at children with learning disabilities, from the mild end of the spectrum to the severe, including Down syndrome, emotionally and behaviorally disturbed, mentally and physically handicapped, and children with autism. Nordorf and Robbins developed the idea that within every human being there is an innate responsiveness to music, And within every personality, one can reach a music child or a music person. This idea was very important in their work with the handicapped population, where despite severe degrees of learning disability and often severe physical disability, they believed in the potentially normal and natural responsiveness to music and the power of music to enable self-expression and communication. Nordhoff and Robbins related their therapeutic goals to the humanistic concept of Abraham Maslow, including in their framework the aspiration towards self-actualization, peak experiences, and developing special creative talents. Their relationship with the client is built on a warm, friendly approach, accepting the child as he or she is, recognizing, reflecting, and respecting the client's feelings, allowing the client choice, and a non-directive approach to give the client autonomy, and the therapist the role of following and facilitating. Analytically oriented music therapy is a further development of what was earlier called analytical music therapy, which was developed by Mary Priestley. Here, the clients are actively involved in clinically organized musical activities, and the most applied form of musical performance is improvisation. The improvisations can be tonal as well as atonal, and it is the client's way of expressing themselves in improvising music that influences the form and style of the improvisations. Composed music can also be used, or the activity of composing songs or instrumental music as part of the work. The focus of therapy is on the personal and or the functional development of the clients, and not an evaluation of the aesthetic quality of the musical product. Analytically oriented music therapy combines a psychoanalytical and psychotherapeutic understanding of the transference phenomena between the client and the therapist, with the understanding of meaning and form of expressions in musical improvisations. It is based on communication theories, on developmental psychological theories, and theories concerning the psychosocial components in developing one's personality. Joint analysis of all three components, the music therapist, the music, and the client, is truly emphasized in understanding stages of development in analytically oriented music therapy. The work can develop into a strong emotional confrontation for the client when sufficient trust is present between therapist and client. Analytically oriented music therapists work with all kinds of client populations. The focus is on the client's self-healing forces and mental resources. In work with multiply disabled clients who cannot verbalize, this can be used to gain contact and to communicate at a very basic level. Understanding of stages of development has to be based on the conditions of the clients, and often has to be seen as tiny nuances.